What's up, team? Yeah, back at it again. This is week 2 of the program, so getting back to where I can actually lift heavy weights and trying to become a pro strongman. So there's no pre-video or everything or anything. This week was incredibly stressful because I took the entire week off after this training, went on holiday, and actually had my first week off of work in probably 3 years, like a planned week off rather than just general public holidays. So, starting out the week's workouts with the lower dominated session. So, starting out with spaz rolls to get my core activated, but also focus on bringing my ribs to my hips, and then some kettlebell swings with a dumbbell because I am just too lazy to go and grab an actual kettlebell. Really focusing on tensing the glutes here, getting the old booty working, just getting some movement pattern work. And then we went on to box squats. So I'm still on box squats and I'll be on them for quite a while. Just it's more comfortable on the lower back and the TFL than doing full depth squats. And started at 140, added 10 kilos per set, and ended up doing a set at 180, which I'm pretty happy with, given I think I went up to 160 or 170 in week 1. So good increase in strength. I'm doing about, initially I thought this was deeper squats than last week. A different camera angle makes it hard to tell, but I think actually they're probably the same depth. So increase in weight, same depth, that's fine. I'm happy with that. Any kind of progress is good progress. And this was actually an extra set than what I needed, because I could have just gone 130, 170, had my sets done, but I went 180 for an extra set. Some death marches. These are actually great now that I'm doing them properly. Turn the front foot inwards, gets the outer glute to tense really well. So it's a hamstring and outer glute movement. This did teach me that my grip endurance isn't great because there's 30 kilo dumbbells, and by the end of every set, my hand was actually starting to open, my forearm was cramping. On some kettlebell wood choppers, these are quite good. Takes a lot less setup than doing it with the cable, and if you do it properly, it's a really good core workout. Breathing through your core rather than just using your shoulders to slang the weight around. So really good for my obliques and my deeper core work, and just doesn't put a huge amount of stress on my lower back either, because even though it is coming right, it's still painful. And then finishing our session just with some light leg work. It's really high reps. What I do notice is that for me with the hamstring curls, when it's above probably 10 reps, it does start feeling like my hamstrings are going to cramp. And I think I got to the final set on this and I was starting to get hamstring cramp at that point, which is annoying, but it's all part of the training program. Trying to get used to more volume, more reps, just the ability to actually do work. And then leg extensions. So these were both sets of 20. Pretty comfortable. The hamstring curls were 3 sets of 20, and last set I started kind of a little bit of cramp towards the end, and then this was 5 sets of 20. It was pretty comfortable. I'm not going super heavy on it because I'm not used to the sets of 20 yet. Once I get used to it, I'll be able to just start pushing the weights harder and harder. I did go heavier on week 2 than I did week 1. And then get see my fat belly hanging out the bottom there. Just doing some leg raises. I've never really done them hanging like this before. I've always done them on like a Roman chair, or I call it a Roman chair at least. This was good. It's nice core exercise, focusing on bringing the ribs and hips together. And then we're on to day 2. So the trap 3 raise, I'm really trying to focus. It looks like it's a trap exercise because it is, but I'm really trying to focus on getting the scapula, especially at the bottom of the scapula, to move and the muscles in the area to tense. And on some behind the neck press. I'm actually really enjoying these. I haven't done them in a good couple of years as part of a training program, and I've never really done them seated, going for it. So I started at 80 kilos. Coach said, keep the increases smaller and push it. So I went 80, and then this is 90. And I believe I did. So I believe I went 80, 85, 90. And then the 90 set, you'll see this last rep here was pretty rough. I think it's the next one here. I wasn't actually counting. It gets stuck. My triceps don't want to engage, and then it finishes it off. And then I went down to 85 for last set. And then following up the behind neck press with some pull downs, just opening everything up. That's what coach is really focusing on, is just opening my shoulders up, because I am a bit immobile. I'm more mobile than most bigger strongmen, but you can always be more mobile. You can always be better at things. And then one arm standing dumbbell press. So I've included this so I can just get better at having a dumbbell on one side, because monster dumbbell is my worst overhead event. Just sets of 6, nice and comfortable. So I started at 35 and I did that for 2 sets. I was like, that's a bit easy. So I went 40 for the last 2 sets. You can see a bit of strength discrepancy there between my right and my left, because, right-handed, right arm stronger. And then the pump of doom to finish off. Yeah, I mean, I understand why I have to do this, but it hurts. High reps is just horrible. I mean, there's only sets of 15 lateral raises. Lateral raises are fine. I do lateral raises pretty regularly. But then I go from that into the rear delt flies 20 reps. And it's just, it starts burning so quickly, especially considering, I am doing side raises. I am getting a little bit of rear delt activation there while I'm doing the side raises. But, it's all good. Getting it done. And, hopefully I get a bit of muscle gains, a bit bigger, a bit leaner. That's the goal at the moment, is to try and get as big and as lean as possible, as I'm really doing a lot of rep work and really putting the effort into getting my core stronger, a bunch of other stuff as well. And you see me like taking little breaks there. And then a bit more rep work, a bit more pump work. So skull crushers. I like doing skull crushers, but I actually prefer doing skull crushers with dumbbells, so I can go either side of my head with the dumbbell, get a bit more of a stretch. But because I'm doing an easy bar curl as a superset, I want to keep it so it's a double armed movement and a double arm movement, rather than having so it's a stable movement rather than having an unstable movement. So this is pretty comfortable. Sets of 20 on skull crushers. Haven't really started pushing this yet, just because I don't want to crush my skull. It also just, the session in general is, it's pretty hard on the old triceps and shoulders already. So the triceps are pretty fatigued by the time I get to this. Just trying to get used to these high rep works and this kind of work that I'm not used to. Once I get used to it, then I'll be able to start pushing the weights. I push the biceps harder because I can, because they're not fatigued in this session. Coaches keeps on putting out videos about getting stronger and getting bigger arms, because strongmen need to have big arms, and so do powerlifters. On to day 3. So simple deadlift session. So it's 5 sets of 5. Because my back injury, it's just tolerable weights with the discomfort. So got 190 here. Thing is, it feels really easy, but it's that little bit of discomfort off the floor that I can kind of feel. It's not painful or anything like that. It's just uncomfortable, to say the least. And then I'm into some safety bar seated good mornings. Just want to show you my setup here and how I have to get into this bloody thing. It is not comfortable getting into here, but it's the best setup I found in this gym, and it works. So this is just one of the warm-up sets, or this might even be my first set. It's pretty comfortable. So this is 60 kilos. So it moves pretty easily in the end. Nothing major, nothing hard or anything like that. So that was just a warm-up set. Me trying to get out of the bloody thing there. It's funny to watch. I am far too big to be trying to fit into there, but it's you gotta do what you gotta do. And it's me fucking around trying to figure out what weight I want to go up to and where I'm going to increase from there. So, while I'm doing this, program's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting really good rep work in, and my lower back and stuff is actually feeling a lot stronger, less painful. as well, which is the main focus at the moment, is less pain, better movement. And then, yeah, this is the set with a bit increased weight. So the safety bar is 10 kilos and it's 25s and then 50s, 15s, sorry. So we're what, 90 kilos. It's pretty comfortable. It's not a thing of going super heavy and like, destroying my lower back. I could put a belt on and add 30 or 40 kilos, but my focus is getting the movement done. And then increase the weight here. So I did a set at 90, a set at 100, which isn't in the video, and then this is a set at 110. The hardest part about this is actually just the last couple of reps. My neck starts fatiguing to the point where I'm actually struggling to hold the weight on the back of my neck going down. So can't keep increasing the weight too much, but it's a good movement. I'm loving it. It's really good for the old core and lower back, which is the focus is stronger core and less painful back, which seems to be working at this point. I mean, I hope it's working. Then on some one-handed carries, or suitcase carry. I actually kind of enjoy these quite a bit. It's great for the obliques and the outer core work. So I went 90 kilos. That was 102. The farmer's weighs 12 kilos. So went 92 kgs, 102 kgs, and then I went back down to, I think, 92 kgs. Just that this set it felt good and I got it done. But afterwards, my lower back was screaming at me. You see how much easier it is on the right with the right hand. Just the injuries and such. It's way easier on one side than the other. And then 5 minutes of absolute pain. So it's 5 minutes, as many reps as possible, backwards walking lunges. So I say pain. There's a little bit of pain. Like I get a little bit of TFL kind of like discomfort. I wouldn't call it pain, but the pain is by about rep 50, my legs are just burning. I think I did 74 reps that day, which is good increase from the previous week of 10 reps more. And then crunches. I never knew that crunches could be this painful. I'm used to doing do a set of, maybe 15 to 20 reps. And if it's easy, hold a little bit of weight above your head or something. Coach has said minimum 20 reps, maximum 50 reps, try and get to 50. So you'll see me starting to kind of take some little longer rests as I go back down. I didn't count how many reps this is, but I think I got around 40. And then the second set, it was like 26. And then the third set was just horrible. And I think I only got 20 reps. And I was taking pretty big rests in between these sets just because I wanted to try and do the best I could with the most reps I can. I think it's not hard. Like, it's only body weight. It's not heavy. It's just the absolute burn and then the ab cramp at the end of the sets is horrible. On to the last day. So last week, the focus was 6 sets of 6, working up to a top set. This week, it's 6 sets of 6 at that top set. So I went 125 for 6x6. So that was the first set. And this is, I believe, the last set. Pretty comfortable. I probably actually could have gone heavier. But it's just, I'm getting stronger. I was doing a little bit of incline work before this program from Coach. So I am actually kind of used to incline by now. And then, on to dumbbell rows. Trying to touch the dumbbell on the ground so I get rotation through the spine here, because it's one of my issues is rotational strength and just being able to rotate through the spine in general. So just 40 kilos, nice and comfortable. I'm trying to do a lot of exercises without like deadlift straps or lifting straps at the moment, just to get that little bit of extra grip working, because that's been a weakness in the past. So I want to make sure my grip stays super strong. I like this 2-point contact row. So a hand and a knee on the old bench rather than just a hand on the bench. I find it better stabilization for my core. And then, so I'm setting up to do a kettlebell windmills here. Explaining to someone I'm just in this spot. And just, I've been taking so long to try and figure out how to do this. Because it's just it's a really tough exercise for me for some reason. I can't figure out how to do it properly. So here I'm just trying to basically figure out how to hold this and actually get down and touch my foot in a comfortable position, because it just feels weird. And you see me there trying to shift my hips and trying to figure it out. Yeah, you just see it just not great. But it's something to work on. The issue is actually I'm not able to rotate through my spine to actually get into a comfortable position. It's not so much my mobility in my shoulder rather than the mobility through my spine. So not a great, exercise. I hate it, but it'll get better as I go. And hopefully you'll see that it does actually get better. My second set, I watched a couple of videos on YouTube Shorts trying to figure out what am I actually meant to do, how am I meant to do this? And I do kind of figure it out, which is good. It's interesting watching this video. I'm actually kind of already doing what the video says, but I'm not doing it like pronounced enough. I'm not doing it deliberate enough. So on the second set, you'll see that I do it better. It's having the feet pointing away from the dumbbell better, so you can actually get into a better position when you're loading through your glute. So you see I'm doing it here better. So that right foot's really pushing away from where the dumbbell is, and I'm loading through the left glute. And this is so much easier. So my rotational ability isn't great, but it's getting better. So you see me really happy with myself there, like, hey, I figured this out. The gorilla finally figured something out. It's great. See, telling myself load into that glute, twist, touch. Something coach had said about the previous weeks was look at the kettlebell, because the same as when you're doing like monster dumbbell, you should really look at the monster dumbbell, and that did help. And just making sure I'm extending through my shoulder as much as possible as well. And then we went on to monster dumbbell. So it's 1 rep per side, dip and hold, and then power up. So this is just 60. My left arm's my weak arm, so it's a bit of a rough position to be in. If I was doing reps or anything in comp, I'd always use my right arm. And then this is the right arm. Should be a lot easier, a lot more explosive. And so I went 60 for 2 sets, 65 for 2 sets, and then I think this is 70. A reminder that I have done 95 kgs on a monster dumbbell. I've done 82 and a half on my left arm and 95 on my right arm. So the fact that 70 kgs, isn't easy, but also isn't difficult, just shows that I'm still working on it. And then, a bit of a pump at the end here. So some face pulls. So I find this the most comfortable position. I could be kneeling and putting less effort into leaning back, but I find if I lean back and really pull into it, my traps get the best work and best pump. Look at that shiny shaved head. And then, just some simple tricep work and bicep work. So 1-armed tricep extensions, high rep sets again. Just trying to get that muscular work and get a pump. And this is also for a little bit of like getting the elbow working as well, getting the fluid pumped into the old elbow. And then I move straight on to bicep curls. So it's just hammer curls. So this is the end of the workout. It's a pretty comfortable workout. It's been a really good week. I'm really happy with it. And after the session the following day, I headed down to Blenheim for a week. So you'll get to see those videos in the next video, which should be uploaded today as well, hopefully. Thank you all for tuning in.